Have you ever just felt like the world is on the very edge of some kind of major shift? Well, if you ask certain astrologers, they're all pointing to one specific year, 2026, and they're calling it the Great Reset. So today, we're going to dive into the historical patterns and cosmic cycles that have them saying our world is literally about to hit the restart button.
Okay, but first things first, let's get one thing straight. This isn't about gazing into a crystal ball. As the source material puts it, the idea is to look at the past, to figure out when history might be ready to repeat itself. It's really all about pattern recognition, not fortune-telling.
So if we're using history as our roadmap, what is it telling us to expect in 2026? Well, get ready, because the patterns that are showing up are pretty startling.
The biggest theme that keeps coming up for 2026 is this idea of a cosmic reset. We're talking a fundamental, system-wide reboot for the entire planet.
You know, the best way to wrap your head around it is to think about your computer. When it gets all slow and buggy and just isn't working right, what do? You hit restart for a clean slate. The analysis we're looking at suggests 2026 is that exact moment for all of us, a chance to clear out the old failing systems and boot up something totally new. Just look at this timeline. In early 2026, it's just one thing after another. Bam, bam, bam. We have a solar eclipse in innovative Aquarius, then a really powerful Saturn-Neptune conjunction that tends to dissolve old structures, and then a lunar eclipse in detail-oriented Virgo, and all of that happens within 2 weeks. That kind of incredible cosmic pressure cooker is exactly why this period is seen as so uniquely transformative.
Now, that Saturn-Neptune conjunction, that's the main event. An alignment this precise only rolls around once every 320 years. To put that into perspective, the last time this happened, the modern world as we know it today didn't even exist. That's the scale of the turning point we're talking about here.
So, you might be wondering, how do we get from planetary movements all the way to predictions about what's going to happen down here? Let's take a look at the core principle.
Here's the key concept. It's called synchronicity. The idea isn't that Saturn causes an event on Earth, like some cosmic game of pool. It's more that the cosmic and earthly events are like two clocks, perfectly synchronized. They just mirror each other's patterns. The real art is in learning how to read that reflection.
Okay, so we have this cosmic restart button, and we know it works on this principle of synchronicity. But what does that actually look like for us on Earth? Well, this is where we start to see a major clash between the old world and the new.
This slide just lays it out perfectly. On one side, you have the old guard, the old power structure, which the source links to the Pluto and Leo generation, top-down, authority-based leadership. But on the other side, you have this rising Aquarius energy, and it's the complete opposite. It's all about collaboration, freedom, and equality for everyone. We're talking a total reboot of our societal values.
This new era is being championed by Gen Z as they start stepping into leadership roles. It's powered by these exponential leaps in AI and VR, creating futuristic professions we can barely even imagine today. The real core challenge of this new era will be figuring out how to balance that radical individual freedom with the well-being of the collective.
Now, to see how these cycles can play out in the real world, the source gives us a really powerful case study, Turkey. And the patterns here are specific, they're historical, and frankly, the stakes are incredibly high. And this is where the pattern becomes kind of undeniable. The source highlights the Leo-Aquarius eclipse axis. In 1980, under this influence, there was a military coup in Turkey. In 1999, a major earthquake. In 2016, a coup attempt. And in 2026, this exact same cosmic alignment returns. Now, the analysis doesn't say what will happen, but it definitely flags it as a year of critical volatility for the nation.
So we've looked at the world, we've looked at nations. But what about us? What about you? The analysis also breaks down what all this energy could mean for you personally, based on your sign.
All right, let's break it down real quick. The signs that are positioned to have a more advantageous year, catching the best of this new energy, are Cancer, Pisces, Leo, and Sagittarius. Meanwhile, for Aries, Libra, and Capricorn, 2026 is framed as a year of major growth. It doesn't mean it'll be easy. In fact, it's the kind of growth that comes from stepping up, taking on new responsibilities, and building something that's really made to last.
This quote really just sums up the entire message, doesn't it? In a time of a total reset, survival isn't about being the strongest. I mean, the dinosaurs were the strongest, and we all know how that ended. It's about being the most adaptable. The ones who are really going to thrive will be those who can flex and flow with this massive wave of change.
And so we end right where we began. The analysis points to a world that's hitting the reset button.
The old rule books are being tossed out. So the only question left is the one on the screen. Are you ready?